Welcome to Spectrum News at 12. I am Janice Cobham, coming to you live from the beautiful hills of Ibiakura, and let's take a look at the headlines. Buhari approves plan for National Council on Climate Change. Federal government projects 82% of revenue for debt servicing, plus EU Commission chief pledges extra support for Turkey. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. Many thanks for joining us on the news. We begin this afternoon with a report that President Muhammadu Buhari has reportedly approved the deployment of staff from key ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, to the council to ensure its effective takeoff. The President, at the inaugural meeting of the Council in Abuja, okayed the operationalization of the office space to provide a conducive working environment for the Council and development of open market carbon trading framework and infrastructure. Buhari also approved that the Energy Transition Plan and Office be subsumed into the NCCC to ensure continuity and stability of the initiative in accordance with the Climate Change Act 2021.
You will recall that during the inauguration of the Council in September 2022, I gave the directives for the amendment of the Act establishing the National Council on Climate Change to include the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Federal Ministry of Science and Technology and Innovation as members of Council, also to reduce the number of officers across 36 states of the Federation, to avoid bureaucracy and ensure a smooth and faster process in achieving the purpose of the organization.
Operationalization of the office space to provide conducive working environment for the Council and deployment of open market carbon trading framework and infrastructure, Phase 1, in collaboration with MS Rosehill Group Limited, and subsume the Energy Transition Plan and Office into the National Council on Climate Change to ensure continuity and sustainability of the initiative. And finally, the National Council on Climate Change as the designated national authority for United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC, and the DG, National Council on Climate Change, to serve as the UNFCCC national focal point in line with the climate change.
You will recall.
Away from that, the International Monetary Fund (IMF) says the federal government has projected to spend 82% of its revenue on interest payments in 2023. According to the IMF, external debt will rise to $121.6 billion, with external reserves climbing to $37.5 billion. The agency disclosed this in a table of projections in its IMF Executive Board concludes 2022 article, IV Consultation with Nigeria Summary. The projection showed an improvement in the share of the government revenue that was being used as interest payments, with interest payment falling from 63.3% in 2022 to 82% in 2023, to 226 not knowing its. Okay, let's move over to our next story. On the Naira crisis now, the Ekiti state government have applied to be joined as a co-plaintiff in a suit against the federal government at the Supreme Court of Nigeria on the Naira redesign policy and a deadline issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) for the swap of old Naira notes for new ones. The Ekiti State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Dayo Akpata San filed the application for joinder at the Supreme Court seeking 3 reliefs. The suit has Attorneys General of Kaduna State, Kogi State, and Zamfara State as plaintiffs, while the Attorney General of the Federation is the defendant. The state government also averred that the directive of the federal government of Nigeria on the Naira redesign. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Governors Forum (NGF) has urged its members to support the legal battle on the policy against the federal government at the Apex Court. In a communique issued after its meeting in Abuja, the NGF directed Attorneys General of the 36 states to review the suit at the Supreme Court with a view to consolidating the legal reliefs pursued by states. The governor said that the country is at risk of recession, which will be the result of CBN's Naira exchange policy. In a separate development, the Lagos State Ministry of Education has ordered the temporary closure of Chrisland School, Okpebi Ikeja, following the reported death of student of the school, Whitney Adeyemi. A release signed by the State Commissioner for Education, Folashade Adefisayo, said the closure was ordered pending the outcome of a full investigation into the unfortunate incident. Meanwhile, Adefisayo, on behalf of the State Ministry of Education, commiserates with the parents of Whitney and prayed for the repose of her soul. On electoral matters now, member of the National Peace Committee, Idayat Hassan, has disclosed that there have been more than 134 attacks on the officers and personnel of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) across the country as of January 2023. She lamented increasing violence in the country ahead of the 2023 general elections, noting that laws which prohibit persons, apart from security agencies, from bearing arms at campaign grounds must be implemented. She added that all political parties must abide by the INEC-laid down rules and regulations and guidelines for parties and campaigns. And moving away from that, the Department of State Services has invited a spokesperson for the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Femi Fani-Kayode, over allegations of a coup plot ahead of the February elections. Fani-Kayode, a former minister under the Olusegun Obasanjo administration, confirmed the invitation in a statement today, adding that the invitation will be honored. According to reports, Fani-Kayode in a tweet alleged some top army personnel in a bid to scuttle the February 25 general elections. He said that the meeting might be part of an agenda to provoke a coup and establish a new and unconstitutional order in the country. We move now to Africa, where Malawi has dropped criminal charges against the head of the anti-corruption agency following pressure from the country's main donors and local civil society groups. Martha Chizuma was facing charges of criminal defamation over a leaked audio in which she allegedly made remarks suggesting that a number of senior government officials and some judicial officers were hindering the fight against corruption. In a statement, the Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, said he discontinued the cases following a review and consultation with the Attorney General. Meanwhile, Chizuma's lawyer, according to reports, said that the charges have not formally been dropped. And still in Africa, Botswana's President Masisi was warned that his country could serve severe ties with South African diamond giants, the Bears, if talks to renegotiate a sales agreement prove unfavorable for the country. The 2011 sales agreement governing the terms of marketing diamonds produced by Botswana, a 50-50 joint venture between the government and the Bears, expired in 2021. It has been extended by the parties who cited the coronavirus outbreak as the reason for the delay in concluding negotiations and will end on June 30, 2023. Recall that under the 2011 agreement, the mining company, De Beers, received 90% of the rough diamonds produced, while Botswana received 10%. On a foreign scene now, U.S. officials says another unidentified object was shot down over the Great Lakes region at the direction of President Joe Biden. The official said that the object, which was flying at 20,000 feet over Michigan's Upper Peninsula, was shot down and neutralized by U.S. F-16 fighter jets near Lake Huron. Meanwhile, the North American Aerospace Defense Command felt that taking gunshots at the object shot down in an attempt to better preserve them for examination on the ground was unachievable. And still on the foreign scene, European Commission Chief Ursula Le Guin has promised to bolster aid for Turkey as the country grapples with the aftermath of the earthquake. Le Guin, in a phone call, told Turkish President Recep Erdogan that the Commission will mobilize additional support and respond to Turkey's latest request for more shelter capacity. Meanwhile, the European Union hopes to drum up additional funding for Turkey and Syria during a donor conference set to be held in Brussels in March. And still to come in the news, Barcelona moves 11 points clear in La Liga with win over Villarreal. Just stay with us. Many thanks for still being there. Now to the rest of our stories. In business, the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has said that the Central Bank of Nigeria's processes of allocating foreign exchange have its members in a dire situation. The association said that the manufacturing business was becoming an endangered sector due to challenges ranging from forex storage to many other issues. The Director General of the association, Shego Kudi, stated this during an interactive session in Lagos. According to him, the government must deliberately address the issue of prioritizing the allocation of scarce forex by encouraging production activities in the country. And still in business, the Nigeria Sport Exports Promotion Council (NEPC) has expressed its commitment to ensure that in 2023, Nigeria makes more than $4.82 billion it generated from non-oil exports business in 2022. Ekiti State Coordinator NEPC Yabode Abe said that the council, under the leadership of the Chief Executive Officer Yakusak Ezra, will continue to promote the development of non-oil exports in order to safeguard the nation's economy. He said that the council was committed to some technicalities of exports business that will enable them have clear competitive edge in the global markets.
Figures represent data collected from the various pre-shipment inspection agents appointed by the federal government of Nigeria under the Pre-Shipment Inspection Act Cap P25, Laws of the Federation 2004. Emergence of urea or fertilizer as the highest exported product in 2022 can be attributed to the Russia-Ukraine war, which created an avenue for Nigerian urea to thrive. It is worthy to note that our products were exported to 122 countries, with Brazil recording the highest import value of 12.27%, i.e., some of the products they send are not even allowed into the country. Every country has its own import regulations, and if you do not comply or abide with such import regulations, your product, no matter where you are coming from, and other cases are the presence high level of pesticides in the product, in our agricultural product, and they have their standard. And once you don't meet with such standard, naturally, once it has to do with, food issues, naturally, the product will be rejected. So these are some of the few issues why our products are being rejected. These figures represent data.
On our health news, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control and the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Group of Manufacturers Association of Nigeria have pledged to work together to retain the World Health Organization will launch the country into the League of Vaccines and Active Pharmaceutical Ingredients Producers in the world. The director continuing to adhere strictly to the best global practices in regulatory responsibilities. Fedayo Adetifa has said that the agency had an emergency meeting in Jigawa State over the meningitis outbreak in the state. Adetifa said the Emergency Operations Center meeting a series of tweets via his Twitter handle. Meanwhile, Adetifa said the NCDC had which were at various stages of completion as part of taking forward. We move to sports now, where Pedro's goal after a Xavi's side have conceded just 7 goals in the league and their only defeat in the FIFA Club World Cup to extend their lead. Real will return to league at the Club World Cup final, but face a huge task to overhaul their historic rivals. 8 bookings and a serious-looking leg injury to Villarreal altered the flow of the match. And still in sports, Philadelphia made sporting history as Super Bowl defeat beaten in World Series and Union lost MLS Cup final. Meanwhile, Philadelphia is reeling after the Eagles lost 38-35 to the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl. On entertainment, Aries defense minister caught trying to steal resources belonging to the fictional African kingdom of Wakanda. The scene turns on a group of after they were caught on a secret mission to Wakanda base in Mali. Journalist Jean Bezan, who posted the Black Panther clip, noted the military mission. And still on entertainment, Barbadian singer Rihanna, social media went into meltdown when the singer revealed an unexpected special guest. In an interview, the Barbadian singer was asked if there would be any support, but said she is not sure. Naturally, fans assumed she was talking about one of the many artists she has collaborated with during her illustrious career. She was in fact hinting that she was pregnant with her second child. The singer may have failed to debut any music. Follow us on all our social media handles and ensure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website at spectrumtv.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 12.